Pixar just put out its wackiest and weirdest movie yet, and it might be up there with some of its classics for me. Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Adam, and today we are going to be talking about Pixar's latest outing, Hoppers. After announcing a sequel-heavy slate, Hoppers is an original outing that tells the story about scientists who have discovered how to hop human consciousness into lifelike robotic animals, allowing people to communicate with animals as animals. Our main character, Mabel, seizes an opportunity to use this technology and infiltrates the animal world in order to rally the animals and stand up to the humans who are taking over their land. When Hoppers was initially announced with that basic premise, I was like, oh, this is going to be weird, and I was immediately excited for it. It felt like Pixar was taking a big original swing. It felt like it was really going to do something wacky and weird and kind of push itself. I feel like Pixar's been a little hit or miss lately. It's fallen into stagnancy. It felt like an original outing that people had been really waiting for. I know a lot of people, myself included, were really discouraged when we were getting Toy Story 5, Incredibles 3, a sequel to Coco. So it was exciting and like a little glimmer of hope to get an original story, especially from Pixar, especially after Elio underperformed as well. And I gotta say, this is probably like my favorite Pixar outing since Turning Red. I would put it like pretty up there, actually. What makes Hopper so special is how unapologetically weird and wacky it is, and it really harnesses that zaniness and just infuses it into every corner of this thing. It moves at this breakneck speed. It harnesses the tone and puts it into this sharp mile-a-minute comedy. The animation is vibrant and goofy and textured and alive. It was just so electrifying. I walked out of it feeling similar to how I felt as a kid when I was seeing Pixar like first emerge, like those classic Pixar movies, but it brings this jolt of a fresh new vision to it. It is directed by Daniel Chong, and he also has a story credit on this, and the screenplay is by Jesse Andrews, and it feels so distinctly them. This doesn't feel like a quote-unquote Pixar movie. It doesn't feel like a brand. It feels like we are getting something from distinct artists with something to say, with a visual eye, with a distinct sense of humor. It's so refreshing. Where to even begin with this? First and foremost, the pacing. I think it might put some people off. I think this thing moves at like a breakneck speed. And even for myself, I was like, ooh, we're moving a little fast here. I was a bit worried that it was moving so fast and it was so goofy. Maybe it would like underplay maybe some of the heart of this. But I think from the jump, we get such a clear idea of who our main character Mabel is and like what she stands for and what her why is. We don't waste any time. We jump right into that inciting incident pretty quickly. And because we're moving so fast and because it's so go, 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 it really allows these moments where we sit in the stillness and the quiet to really breathe and stand out. That stillness and that quiet is very intentional. I'll talk about that when we kind of get into like the themes. I think it's so brilliant to use this speed and then kind of back off of it and allow your emotion to come forward and breathe and like put you in the mindset of the characters and how they are using quiet and stillness and connection. As impactful and effective as I think it is, there are some moments that do feel a bit rushed. It takes a little bit to get its footing, but overall I think it's effective the way it is paced. The comedy in this, I was laughing out loud so often. The comedy is so sharp and smart, and it's kind of self-aware. This is in the trailer, but like some of the higher ups in the animal world have these little crowns and people are like acknowledging it. Like we're acknowledging the little eccentricities in the world. We're self-aware of some of these more absurd elements, and I think that's like really funny. There's enough like slapsticky over the top comedy for younger audiences, but I do think it's smart enough to appeal to adults. In fact, a lot of the grown-ups in my screening were really digging it. They really know how to commit to a bit. There are some jokes that last a long time and like really function on almost overstaying the welcome. They know how to like push the joke so far to where it stays, and then they back off before we get too sick of it. Yeah, just like really funny, really smart. I was beaming. I couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. Which brings me to our voice cast. I think these characters are vibrant personalities. I think they're so much fun and they're adorably animated. I wanted to like hug and squeeze them all, and they're so expressive and interesting and fun to look at. It's Pixar, but there is like these like distinguishable animated flares that make this kind of separate from previous works, and the voice cast is just top to bottom stacked. Piper Curda, who plays Mabel, I think she's really great. Mabel's such an interesting character. I think I'm very excited for young people to experience her, especially young women. She is messy, she is angry. Like a big crux of her character is like how she deals with her anger and her struggle with that, and also feeling like so overwhelmed by all the things that are wrong in there. I think she is a beautifully messy character, but she's still so earnest and you can't help but root for her. And I think Piper Curda really captures all of her complexities beautifully. Bobby Moynihan plays King George, a beaver monarch, and I don't want to be hyperbolic, but I think King George is like kind of up there in quintessential Pixar characters for me. He is so lovable and goofy. I love King George. But top to bottom, this cast, like we have John Hamm, Kathy Najimy, Dave Franco, we have Sam Richardson, Melissa Villaseñor, we've got Ego Wodum, Meryl Streep, Vanessa Bayer. Like, it's so stacked and they're all so fun. The performances are so fun. I think for me, what takes it over the top though, for all its zaniness, for all the bold swings it takes, there are some sequences in this movie that feel like a fever dream. It never loses its heart, because at the core of this movie, it is about cutting through the noise and stepping away from that noise and making room for civility, serenity, and community. This movie really understands that nothing gets done alone. We are not able to make change alone. We really need to lean on community. I really appreciated how this movie dealt with a character really like struggling with her anger and really trying to center herself and step away from that and find a moment to breathe. And in doing so, she's able to like kind of find a place in this big beautiful world and realize she is this cog in this big machine, and the only way to keep that machine going, the only way to protect Earth, is to coexist with everyone and everything on it. This Earth belongs to all of us, and it is up to all of us to come together. We have to listen, we have to come together and protect it and preserve it and find ways forward together. And I really appreciated how this movie handles that. I just think it's really cool that this animated film from like a major studio like Pixar, like Disney, is really speaking to the chaos in the world, right? I think it can be so isolating to be alive in this time where everything feels like it's falling apart around you, where it feels so insurmountable. And I just think it's really important and beautiful to project this idea of, no, it's not easy, but it isn't impossible, and we can do that if we do it together. And I think that's a message we all need to be reminded of and need to hear. I really hope young people internalize that when they watch this. It's beautiful. Yeah, I loved this movie. I'm riding so high on this. I like rushed home to record my reviews. I'm writing a review for the Rolling Tape. Make sure you check that out. I loved it. I think it's so technically well made. It's vibrantly animated. The score by Mark Mothersbaugh, incredible. We love that man. I grew up on that man's work, and this score is just as dynamite as some of his most quintessential work. I think Daniel Chong like really has a great command of the tone and the story he's setting out to tell. I just loved it. I loved it so much. It just felt like a breath of fresh air. I love wacky, weird shit, and I want more wacky, weird shit. For everyone on the brigade of like, there are no more original movies, it's all sequels, go see this. Go see this and support it. And I promise you, it will be worth your while. I'm sitting at a 4.5 out of 5. I kind of wanted to take a minute, but I am like really riding high on it. I can't wait to see it again. Thank you so much for checking out this review. Make sure you do all the things you're supposed to do on a YouTube video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me everywhere, and stay tuned for more reviews, award coverage, the works. But until the next one, bye!